This is how I made $1 million in 7 months at 25 years old. So for those that don't know me, my name is Josue Pena. Today, I'm the founder of Online CEOs, but it didn't always start like that. I am originally from the Dominican Republic. English is not my first language, as you can see. And I was fortunate enough to be able to grow in a family where I had both my dad and my mom together. The one thing though is I am an only child, not by choice of my parents, but because of medical complications and stuff like that. Now, obviously for me, this meant I am more introverted than extrovert a lot of times. And also in school, I was seen as the oddball for whatever reason. I was always like made fun of, and I was like the black sheep that's doing like something crazy and doing its own thing. And it was always like this. My parents didn't have that much money, but there was always food on the table, a roof over our heads, and obviously clothes. So nothing was missing, but it wasn't like lavish. I do still remember that sometimes water will run out, like in the middle of the shower, the light will go out, and it's simply because it's Dominican Republic. I love my country, but that's the truth. And my first form of entrepreneurship and making money online and selling was actually from a very early age. Even though my parents didn't really have the money to buy me toys or different things like that, I did have one uncle in New Jersey that every single Christmas did send over boxes with toys and stuff like that. And what ended up happening is after the years passed by, the toys would just sit in the closet. So what I ended up doing was there was a website called mercadolibre.com, which is like eBay, and I will sell the toys or the games or whatever online. And that was the first time I tasted what selling was like, or what making money online was like. And they got me started little by little on this quote unquote entrepreneurship journey that we're on today. Now, something I think important that really shaped my life, and the reason why I even know English today, is because in 5th grade, I was fighting all the time, like literally every day. Because what ended up happening is people will try to bully me, but then I would fight back.
Now I'm gonna really kick your ass.
I wouldn't let me just get bullied. And one day in one of these altercations, I ended up kicking 2 teeth out of somebody else. And then obviously that got me expelled from school, and it was a huge mess. So what ended up happening after the school year, after fighting and getting expelled like 2 or 3 times or something like that, my parents changed me to another school which was bilingual, and that's where I learned English. So it was a blessing in disguise looking back now at it, because I was able to learn English and my business was able to build it in the United States and in English rather than just staying in Dominican Republic just in Spanish. Now, something I did see throughout my entire childhood was my dad working super, super hard, but even though we had everything that we needed, I didn't have everything that I wanted. So I knew that even though my dad is an engineer, electrical engineer, and there was, nothing was missing of what we needed, I wanted more. And I knew that what I didn't want was to work, wake up 7, 8 a.m., work super hard, and come back home 8, 9 p.m. and not make the kind of money that actually gives you the freedom and that actually allows you to buy the things that you want. So that was my mentality growing up. It was like, I do not want this. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. Now I graduated high school, and then I was basically forced into college because obviously it's the Dominican Republic, and my goal back then was to become a professional soccer player. And I worked super, super hard for it. I broke actually both of my ankles playing soccer. It was very, very hard, but I kept going, kept training, and I really got really, really good. And it's actually the reason why I even started social media. I actually have a soccer channel and a fitness channel. And the reason why I did that was because in my head is like, nobody's gonna find me in Dominican Republic for soccer. Dominican Republic is known for baseball. So I need to put myself out there and show my talent, show my skill, and grow my following so that one day I can maybe get the chance to get a pro contract and get chosen for it. So that was my whole idea. Basically what I ended up having when I graduated high school, I was forced into college, and I picked the least career that I least disliked. I'm very good with numbers. So what I ended up doing was just picking engineering, and my dad is an electrical engineer, so I just chose that. It wasn't really a conscious decision. It was the decision of what is the thing that I least dislike that has the highest likelihood kind of being a very unique, career. And that's kind of how that happened. But I hated it. But what I did was I ended up graduating earlier. So I was taking 24, 25, 27, 28 credits per semester just to finish it as soon as I possibly could. And at the same time, I was trying to learn social media, content creation, videography, photography, all these different things, and also training soccer and playing first division in Dominican Republic. So I was doing all these things at once because my goal was to graduate college as soon as possible, get it over with, and then keep going and moving from there. Now, after I graduated as an engineer 1 year earlier with a promotion that was before me, I get the chance to move to the United States and I take it. The only thing is that I moved to the United States with a student visa, meaning I had to go to community college, which was a downgrade, obviously. And then during that time, I was like, you know what? I'm also gonna get a master's degree too. So I got an MBA in business. And I realized that an MBA in business is really worthless. They really don't teach you absolutely anything. And it is just a piece of paper. Plus also you're learning from people that actually don't have businesses, or at least that don't have very successful businesses. So it's like,
you see, most teachers in school, they're out of ethics. They teach subjects they themselves don't practice.
what would you learn from somebody that's actually not doing what you want to do? Now in 2016, what ended up happening is I broke big toe on my left foot. And I was in the best shape of my life playing soccer in Indiana. The time that I was dedicating to training, I had to dedicate something. I had to dedicate somewhere. So what I ended up doing was dedicate more time on social media, grow it, and actually turned out very well because I did get the chance to be a pro through an agency because they saw my social media and wanted to use me as a case study for their agency. Now, I ended up declining that proposal because I realized the life of a professional soccer player in the United States is not the most glamorous, and you're not gonna be making millions of dollars. And also, I wasn't gonna be Messi or Ronaldo. I was already too late. But I did have the opportunity or the potential to maybe become Messi or Ronaldo in the business world with my skill, which was growing Instagram very, very quickly. And that is exactly what I decided to do. I still remember to this day, September 13th, 2016. My first paying client, we sold it for a high ticket for consulting or coaching for $3,500 a month. It was a one-on-one mentorship program for a full month. And his name was Tim. He was like the CEO of this big insurance company that I honestly have no idea why he decided to grow his personal brand, because he was already a millionaire and making millions of dollars. Then what I decided to do with that money, I did get a partner, and then we went traveling to Vegas. We got more clients over there. Then we went traveling all over, got clients here and here and here. And it was all because I learned a very valuable skill that was Instagram marketing. And in December that same year, I launched my first course, which was an Instagram course. And it did fairly well. In this first day, I think we did $15,000 to $20,000 in the first hour. It was pretty decent. From there, I also went to get featured on Grant Cardone's TV show, met him, he became a client, and it was all awesome. Now, what happened in 2017, I almost lost the business because the business partner that I had left, and I was left alone with like a huge expense and like all this stuff. But then what ended up happening is I decided to take money to travel to Boise because I got invited to a Guinness World Record event where we all play bubble soccer. I met Russell Brunson in person, Gary Vee, and I was able to network with very high level entrepreneurs like Lady Boss, Kevin David, and this was all in 2017. And this is gonna play a very big role of the next year because 2018 comes and I'm making around like $3,000 to $4,000 a month-ish. But because I built very good relationships with them, on the previous year on that event, they did invite me to a special cruise that was only high-level entrepreneurs. I was honestly the poorest guy out of it all. Like I was making $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, if that. And these guys were making millions of dollars a year already. So I was like baffled that they invited this Dominican kid that didn't know much about business. But I did know one thing, which was Instagram marketing. And the cruise, it was super awesome. It was a full week. It was right before the ClickFunnels event in 2018. And I did meet a lot of good people. Lady Boss was there. There was also Adam Winnick and a bunch of other guys. And I remember that the cruise was $4,000, but my profit per month was $4,000. So I literally took all the profit that I had made that month and just dumped it into going to the cruise because I believed in the networking part and me providing value to these guys and then also learning from them too. If you were to tell me I would have made $1 million 6 to 9 months after that event, I would have not believed you. Because what ended up happening next was that I spoke in Dan Henry's event in front of like 500 people. I also went out and got Lady Boss as a client, Kevin David, also Alex Becker. And then from there, I also got Alex Hormozi as a client. I spoke at his event. From January, February 2018 to September 2018, I made over $1 million, meaning in 7 months at age 25, I had made over $1 million. And by the end of that year, we closed the year at like 1.2 million. And that is like cash, which is absolutely insane to think about because the business grew super, super quick and literally blew up without me even thinking that this could happen like this. Now, as good things come to an end, what ended up happening to me after that was very, very sad because I went like this and then lost it all. Because in 2019, even though it was going great, I was closing clients for $25,000 for one-on-one help, and clients were paying 25 grand. They were making $300,000, $400,000, so it was worth it of the time. And I was very, very good at marketing and sales on Instagram. I made a lot of bad decisions after that. And bad decisions in the sense that I got unfocused on what was actually working. I started doing all these business models, trying all these different things. And then what ended up happening was that the main business went down, and then my expenses went up because I was trying all these other things. I hired way too much people. And then what ended up happening was in 2019, I ended up working in a gas station. And by the end of that year, I was $500,000 in debt. And it was a very, very sad moment and place to be on, because after you've made it, losing everything is extremely hard and embarrassing. But something I did learn during that time is a couple of things. Number one, focus. Focus is the most important thing that you can possibly have, because without it, you're literally doomed. If you try to do a bunch of things at once, it's not gonna work. Number two, it's skill. You need to focus on one single skill for a prolonged period of time to become very, very good at it. I was doing Instagram since 2012, 2013, and it wasn't until 2016 that I got my first client. And it was because I was focused on one skill, which was growing Instagram pages. But then when I added also the monetization and how to sell and became very good at it, then my income exploded. And that is what ended up happening with me, because I became, for lack of a better term, a digital marketer or a digital salesman on Instagram specifically. And all these clients wanted to sell more of their products and services on Instagram. And that's what I became extremely good at. And that's how I got Alex Becker and Lady Boss and Kevin David and all these big players as clients, and literally made them millions of dollars. But even though I was good at that, I got unfocused and then obviously made bad decisions. And then the third thing that I would say is that you absolutely need to make sure that you take into account is networking. I am from Dominican Republic. I am a nobody. Come from Santiago, a small town in DR. I should not be in the place I am today, but yet I am. And it's only because of the networking and the people that I have surrounded myself with. You're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Now, here's the problem. If other people like Lady Boss or Kevin David or Alex Becker or whatever are working to improve themselves, why would they let me in their circle? If I didn't have a skill, I literally bring no value to the circle, so they even wouldn't allow me in. But because I did provide value for free, I did work for free, I did provide a valuable skill to them, and I was good at it, they were, hey, let's bring this guy because he has something valuable that we can bring to the table. And that's how I got in these circles. It wasn't because of luck or for some magic reason or something. It was simply because I had a valuable skill and I was very, very good at it. Because of that, they wanted to learn more and they hired me to help them increase their growth and their sales on Instagram specifically. And that's really how I became, quote unquote, the Instagram guy in the ClickFunnels community. So now you're wondering, how did you go from 2019 and 2020 losing everything and $500,000 in debt to now going back again and making millions of dollars back? And that is a topic for another video, which will break down exactly how we went from literally like in debt, super down, everything just crumbling. I was even suicidal at one point, and then getting out of that and then building a business back up that's worth multiple 7 figures. But that's a topic for another video. In the meantime, if you want to learn exactly how to grow, but most importantly, how to make 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month extra from Instagram inside of your business, or if you don't have a business, how to build it from scratch, there's gonna be a link down below in the description to another YouTube video where we break down absolutely everything on how you can use Instagram to make money online in today's day and age. So go click it, go check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.